fate decided.
Let's get this party started.
Craving something scary.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
Jojo Jake.
Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
Watch some.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yeah, man.
Hey guys.
Yeah, man.
Nothing like Stu Mocker welcoming us to the collective.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
How you guys? What's up?
Just, are you talking to us or the chat?
To you.
Silly.
Hello.
Silly. Hello. I mean, we're good. We're good, right? I mean, I speak for me and Jake. We're great. We're
Yeah.
we're
He said it,
Happy
man.
couple. Happy couple.
Yeah.
happy couple, happy wife, happy life. You know
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the goal.
He
you know?
keeps me satisfied, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
We were
Yeah.
watching a
Oh.
good cage fight. You know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
How many
having a
Nicolas
cage
Cages
fight?
are on that shirt?
There's a lot, and there's a John Travolta too, which is
Oh,
hilarious.
nice.
Wow.
Oh, wait, here,
Choose
let me go
your
this way.
cage. That's great.
Choose your cage. And the Mandy one's my favorite. That is such a cool little reference. So there you go. There you go. Little cage for you.
Wow.
Little cage action.
Some people are into that sort of thing. Wow. Well, guys, as you can see in the chat, we are missing someone. We don't have the whole four corners thing going on today because our good friend Knight is got some stuff taken care of. He'll be back on Monday. So all is well, though. So no worries. All health is good. It's nothing like that. It's good stuff. So Knight, we'll miss you, buddy, but we'll see you Monday, my friend. We'll hold it down. All right. Well, guys, a lot of stuff's been going on this week. Just a few things, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, just a few things.
Just a few things. So it's kind of hard not to start with Scream 6, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
really, with all the news and Samara yesterday and Tony. So why don't we just start there? All right. I've got a theory, and I'm sure you guys have theories on this too. So I want to know, what is your prognosis for the character who will be Samara Weaving, whoever she's playing? What do you think is going to happen with her? Because I got an idea, but I want to see what you guys think. Fate, start us off, and then Jake, I want to hear your thoughts.
Personally, I think she's either going to be the opening scene kill, or she's going to be like the CC Cooper type role, which is a video I want to get out later today. Is her like the CC Cooper type role? Mm-hmm. I just don't see her being like a main character or a main focus in this movie. You know, like maybe she plays like the Haley-esque role, but like Haley was only in that movie like 6-7 minutes total. Like it might have felt like more, but it wasn't. Like, you know, she had like the quick scene where she's like, you know, I'm fine. Like, you know, and then they go, and then, you know, the party scene where she's kind of just in passing, walking by, and then she ends up, you know, getting killed. Like where she's like, I'm the therapist. Like, so she wasn't really in the movie much. So maybe she goes that route and she could end up being killed. But I know a lot of people want to see her as Ghostface. I would love to see her as that. I just, based on all the characters we have, I just don't know how you get there. Unless she's like a Mickey type killer where you see her for like 5 minutes in the movie and then you don't see her again till the end, which I pray on everything I love that that's not the case. I just don't see a way that she's, because I mean, think about it. You got Sam, you got Tara, you got Kirby, right? You got Gail, who's going to be who's going to be a significant focus, right? So there's 4 right there. You're probably
14 total.
Well, no, but I'm talking about like characters that are going to be main.
Oh, like you have to give story.
Yeah, you have to give like the screen time. So you have the Carpenter sisters, you have Gail, you have Kirby, you have likely 2 Ghostface. So there's 6 there, and we haven't even gotten to the Meeks twins. Like, and then you have the detective. You got to imagine the detective's going to have some significance because he's trying to solve the crime, whether he's Ghostface or not. I mean, still, so you're talking anywhere from like 7 to 8 characters that you have to build up and tell a story with, and then you're going to add someone like Samara Weaving to this. I just don't know how you get there. Plus, like, if she was a significant character, why wait to announce her now? You know, it feels like she was like an added on. Like, it feels to me like she was like, hey guys, I know you wanted me in a Scream movie. I got like a week, like, before I got to go over here. So, like, you know, what do you want to do? Like, do you want me to do? And they're like, yeah, sure. Why don't we do like 3 days of filming? We'll get you in like a little like cameo, or we'll get you as like a CC Cooper type character. Boom, and then there you go. And then she ends up dying at some point. You maybe get like 2 or 3 scenes with her that are just really brief, and then she dies. That's what I think is going to end up happening. But Jake,
Yeah, Jake.
Well, you know, I don't know, man. It's one of those things that I feel like could go multiple different ways. I totally see the angle of like maybe she's just an opening scene. That would make sense. I mean, she's busy, you know, she's got a lot of different projects going on right now. I could see it being an opening scene. I could see her once again being the killer, which is something I'm leaning towards wanting a little more. It is weird that she was announced this late, but I doubt it was something like so quick like that, where she just called up Radio Silence and was like, hey, you know, let's get me in a scene, you know, or I'll have 6 minutes of screen time, you know. I feel like this was definitely premeditated, considering how many people are from Ready or Not coming back to Scream 6 now, working with the Radio Silence people once again. So my guess is that she probably they probably had an idea for a role for her, and they were like, hey, you want to do this? Let's do it. I think my dream would be to have her as the killer, like giving a fucking speech towards Sam or Jenna or something, just going on a whole rant about some crazy shit, and she would kill it. But I feel like that's a little too good to be true. Also, at the same time, I don't know if that's going to be the case. So I'm kind of leaning towards opening kill, and I'm okay with that. Listen, if we get 10, 11 minutes of Samara Weaving before she gets brutally murdered, I'll take it. I'm happy with that. Holy shit, that would be crazy. I'm just losing my mind to the fact that she's even in it. So, yeah, Carrie, man. This is my shirt. I'm just kidding. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Fight me. So, yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I think right now there's 2 ways I see it personally. I believe that I think she's going to be the opening kill. I do. I think it's going to be the opening. I think they're going to go back to the iconic days of old with Wes's and Kevin's great celebrity cameo openings, like Drew and Omar and Jada, and then all the people in 4, that little cameos. I think we're going to get back to that, and that we're going to have an opening kill in the beginning with her. Now, will it be in the theater or not? I'm leaning towards no, and I've had a little change of heart. I know. I think it won't be a theater opening kill this time. I'm still processing this, guys. We can change our minds tomorrow. This stuff goes because we're early. But I'm thinking that because my friend Chris in Montreal chatted with me, we were talking yesterday, and emails, and he sent me a bunch of pictures. Just got a video out on it, or just a little bit ago, and he said that he went back by the theater, and they still are blocked off for filming now, which has been quite a while, and the theater has no bookings. They've closed the theater down until September. And he said that is very rare because that theater is like one of the biggest venues in the summertime for bands to perform. They're like always booked. And that theater is shut down until September, which tells me, I'm connecting some dots, but I believe Radio Silence has booked that theater for all of July and all of August, because I believe the entire 3rd act will take place in that theater, and it's going to be a Scream 2 ending, like on the stage with Troy, but instead of the Troy, it's going to be Stab, Broadway presentation play, and it's going to happen there. I'm more convinced now than ever, they're going to mirror the ending of 2 with a play, and it's going to be the finale of the movie, and that's where I think they're going to be doing. And they're scheduled to go through August the 10th, but remember, they started a little bit late, so they may go to the 13th or 14th. But if they have it booked for the whole month, they could do reshoots. So if they get dailies done and they go back and show the producers, everyone's there, they see it, they're like, we need to reshoot that. Let's do that part. They've got the theater booked for all of August if they need it. So it just makes too much sense to me, and you're not going to spend that much time in a venue for 3 days for a 15-minute scene. That reeks of a half hour 35-minute finale, third act kind of thing. So that's just my prediction for the theater. And I think Samara's dead by that point. I think she does die in the beginning. Here's the only thing I hope. If Samara's a killer, here's a way you can do it. Remember Debbie Salt. Now don't get salty, Jake. Hold on. I don't mean she's a parent or anything, nothing like that. I don't mean that. But here's what I mean. That Laurie Metcalf was sprinkled throughout Scream 2 in the background. She was always hanging around. And then she has the big scene at the end. They could bring Samara in for a week and shoot little scenes where she's in the background, she's at this party, she's there, just like Debbie Salt was, and then maybe spend, 3, maybe 5 days, 6, maybe a week, 7 days on the finale in the theater. And you could make her a ghost face that way if she's like Debbie Salt. Otherwise, I just don't see there's any way you're going to have time. You can't develop her into a story. There's just no time. Right? It was just too insane. That's what my thoughts.
My thing about, honestly, my biggest problem with Mrs. Loomis is, like, put aside the goofy performance, fight me. That's just, it's goofy. It's silly. It's not, it's over the top. And I feel like it kind of doesn't work with that film. But my biggest problem with it overall is the mystery is just not there. Like, she's in punch-in shots, essentially. And we only ever really see her with Gale.
Yes.
I don't know. To me, it's like the better mystery is when something's been there the whole time, and then it just like, oh, holy crap, that person ended up being the killer. That to me is so much more interesting and impressive than what they did with both Mrs. Loomis and Mickey, who are both in the movie for such a minimal amount of time, and then just like show up at the ending as killers. It feels like a cop-out to me. You know what I mean? I want to see a mystery where it's been someone the whole time and it's so unexpected because of how they write it. That to me is like, that's a good mystery there. You can take that route of not like having a character show up at the very beginning and then not be there the rest of the movie, but like that's the easy way out. That's the okay. We can anyone can write that if no one's around and you're thinking it's somebody else. I don't know. That's my only problem with that. That is very possible though. Not ruling that out at all, just because considering the announcement being this late in the game, being like right in the middle of their shooting schedule, which is weird, but I feel like they're doing it that way because of how much hype is surrounding this film. That's why they're giving us little sprinkles of things instead of the whole cake all at once, I don't know. You make a really good point though about that idea though. I would not rule that out. Like I absolutely would not rule that out. It's absolutely possible for them to attempt to do a mystery so similar to Scream 2 at this point.
Mm-hmm. I just hope they don't go that route because like you said, it is kind of a cop-out. It's like you'll never guess who the killers are because they're not in the movie.
Right.
Like, it's like there's no mystery, there's no build-up, there's no tension. Like, like the only reason you knew Mickey was the killer because he looked like the killer. Like, so when Mickey showed up as a killer, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I saw that from the very beginning. Like that was obvious. But like Mrs. Loomis, you're just like, okay, like I've seen her like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie, and it's Billy's mother. Didn't see that coming, did you? No, we didn't because she wasn't in the movie. Like, yeah, like nobody saw that coming. Like, so like that part I do get. I hope they don't go that route. But my only thing with her not being the opening scene kill is because of like the plot. Unless they change the plot entirely, how can she be the opening scene kill when the plot says that it's a past survivor? Unless they make her like, somebody yesterday in my live stream, I think it was Angie. I think Angie said in my live stream, she was like, she looks like Sonia Amar. Yeah. Oh, she left a comment about it. Yeah. She said that she could play Liv's sister. And then like a bunch of people in my chat were all like, yeah, they do look alike. So maybe you do that. So like, she's kind of a survivor. Like she wasn't a target. She wasn't attacked.
That's
she's but how else do you get there with her? Because she's not a character in any of the other films unless they change the plot, and they just haven't released it yet. But even like all of like the sites still say that that the plot for this movie is the same plot. So she can't be the opening scene unless she's just like a side character. Like maybe she's like Kirby's friend or something, and like Kirby's the opening scene attack, and then you have she dies and Kirby survives. Like maybe you go that route. Good. But I don't. But then why have her in the movie? Because now you're like, I feel like she's big enough and she's a big enough fan favorite that like you need to highlight her. If she's like, oh, here's Kirby in the opening scene. Oh yeah, and Samara Weaving's in here too. Don't you feel like that kind of
kind of too
yeah,
much
kinda
too much light that they take away from each other.
Exactly. They take away
Yeah.
from each other. So I don't know how you get her as the opening scene. That's why I think the only thing that really makes sense would be her as like the CC Cooper role. Because you could do that in like 3 or 4 days of filming. You have a
could.
couple scenes with her. You just kind of, she's just in these like quick flashes, and then she has the 5-minute kill scene where she gets thrown, on the what happens if she even gets thrown off the balcony? Like, what wasn't there one of the set leaks that were going around where it looked like somebody was like, what if that's her? I mean,
It could be.
Yeah. I mean, that's possible. Again, paying homage to 2, another balcony kill. That could happen. And you know what else could happen at any given moment? Doors can knock. Tapping on the window can occur. And I hear something, guys. You guys hear it too?
Yeah, something's going on.
Somebody's tapping on my chamber door.
You know what? I would say I'll be right back, but I know better. So let's just open the door and see who's there. And who is it? It's, my gosh, look who's here.
Woo!
Night on the Night Watch
Yo!
in the house.
What's up?
Dude.
What's up?
Knight's just trying to steal my thunder. I'm the only one that could pop in late.
Not anymore, my friend.
Stealing my thunder. Yeah.
He's
Right?
fashionably late.
That's right. That's right.
What's
And
up?
speaking of which, Knight's got a watch party tonight. Knight, why don't you plug it right now up front?
Ooh,
Well,
Slither.
Carrie is all right.
She's all right.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing a watch party tonight for Slither, and that's gonna be a fun time at 8:30. Woohoo!
Sounds nasty.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
it's a
haven't
nasty
seen
one.
that? You
I've
haven't
never
seen
seen that.
Oh,
Man, I'm telling you. Can I just say something? Whenever Steven
no.
says I haven't seen that, I just feel like, ooh, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, you're all right, man. You're all right.
Oh, thank you,
You have to
buddy.
say that.
dude, that's a good one, man. Yeah, that one's
Right?
fucking gross. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
weird.
Sounds
It's bizarre.
gross.
yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're giving out accolades, I mean, look here, man.
Hey,
3K.
woohoo, thank you
Look
so
at
much.
fate as
I
it
know.
stands.
I'm almost at 3,100.
Jeez, dude.
Dude,
Nice.
it is. It's
You're
insane.
moving and
I,
grooving.
Yeah. I mean, I was at 250 subs like a month and a half ago. And now I'm at 3K.
What?
Yeah, it is. It's insane. Like, you look at my analytics, I've gotten 2,800 subs in the last 30 days or something like that. 30,
gosh,
28 days or
dude.
whatever.
Wow.
It's crazy. And I did a live stream yesterday, and I had like at its peak, I had like 500 people in it. It was
Dude.
it was very
Gosh.
overwhelming. I was just like, oh my god! Like, as soon as I started, I had like 178 people, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be fun. And then,
Are
like,
you
it
monetized yet, dude?
yeah, I've been monetized for the
man.
last like month. Like,
Nice.
I got
Dude.
monetized on like the 26th of last month, so it hasn't even been a month.
Jeez.
Technically.
Wow.
But yeah. It's
Congrats,
just,
man.
crazy.
Congrats.
Thank you so
For
much. It's
sure,
like,
buddy.
yeah, it's crazy. So
I popped in there, man, and I was like, this is just like fate decided. I feel
It
the
is.
love, man. No, but it was cool though, because it was a different. Well, I don't mean just like, I mean, but you,
Yeah.
like your connection with the live chat, but it was cool because it was a totally different type of conversation, as far as the material, but still that fate.
yeah,
Papa Fate
still-
was still in
Papa
the mood.
Fate.
still there, still making it happen. But
It
yeah,
was
no,
great.
it is. It's a fun experience. Like, I've
Yeah.
personally never seen anyone. I mean, I know there are people that have gotten like 100,000 subs in one video, so I'm still nowhere near. But like, I've personally never known anybody to like blow up like this that fast. I've seen people get like 1,000
No.
subs in like a month, but like, man, it's just like
That's
it's all coming
mind-blowing.
at once. Like, I was like, oh, maybe like I'll hit like 5,000 subs this year. Like, that'd be kind of cool. And now I'm on pace to hit like 15 to 20,000 by the end of the year. Like, that's
Nice.
crazy. I don't now. I'm about 90% sure I'm going to get 10K by the end of the year, but I don't know if I'm going to get 15 to 20K because like right now we're in the heart of just like the madness of NBA offseason.
Right.
Like, that should die down next month, and so I'm going to have like a month of like just like finding stuff to talk about rather than things to naturally talk about. So August is probably going to be a rough month. But I'm hoping if I can get to like 4,000 subs, that'd be great because then I'd have enough subscribers to kind of weather that that month, and then hopefully it picks back up when football season starts. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much about sports.
Bro,
That's not what this is
I'm
about.
sorry. If 30,000 subs in a month you can rough out 1 month of getting like 300 subs.
Right?
Goodness
I want
gracious.
to ride the momentum. You know, I want to ride the momentum as
I
much
hear
as
you.
possible. You know, like man,
I
like
do.
yeah.
Hey,
it's just-
speaking of
Nice.
momentum, Jake, you're riding all kinds of stuff. You're making movies. You're making smoothies. You're making movies about smoothies.
You're making
you're-
movies. You're making
I mean,
smoothies.
It's literally
That's
off the
all Red
friggin'
Right
chart.
Hand is, dude. I'm just making smoothies in a Ghostface costume
Oh
for
my
90
god,
minutes.
that would
That's
be
it.
hilarious. While there's like elevator music playing in the
Love it.
background.
that should
Red
be a
Right
promo.
smoothie.
You should make that a promo, like a
Yes.
Like a 2-minute
Oh, that would
promo.
be awesome.
That you should do that
Yes.
like a 2-minute promo. It's just you like blending smoothies or whatever, and like people are like, is there
Yes.
anything else? But it's not. And then just like randomly have like Red Right Hand flash on the screen.
Yes.
You know, like, that would be great.
Oh, that would be sick.
Subliminal.
That
'Cause I
would.
wanna-
Subliminal marketing.
I'm thinking about doing something for the teaser trailer that isn't just clips from the movie the whole time. Like I'm thinking
Right.
about starting it off with something that isn't from the movie, and then like the
Yes.
ending, like the last 30 seconds is crazy shit from the movie. That's kind of what in my head what I want the teaser to be, But I haven't. That might be something cool to fuck around with though. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what'd be cool? I don't know if you could do this, but you know what'd be cool is like if you could have the Ghostface costume be in an elevator and like go up each elevator. Like you probably have to do this at a building like a hospital. Like
Oh, your favorite.
Yeah, you probably have to do this at a building like late at night that's open late, stuff like that. But it'd be cool if like you're just Ghostface, you're just standing there in an elevator and you go up a floor and the doors open, and every time the door opens, it's a clip of like the movie. And then and then the doors shut again, and it's you just going up the elevator again. Or you could just loop. You could loop the going up the elevator,
Yeah.
and then every
that's
time
trippy, man.
every time the door opens, it's a new clip. Like that would be pretty cool. Like
I
it's
like
just
that.
like that'd be cool.
Put
Yeah,
a
man.
green screen out there or something, and then you can just like flash this. Yeah, that's actually kind of sick.
And then
man.
flash
Dig
you just get a quick like fight scene or something crazy, and
Yeah.
then like you could just do that like for a 30-second video or something like that. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. Like
That
it's
would
just
be cool.
You and
Jake.
Ghostface.
Can I give you one piece of advice though?
Yeah.
Learn from the mistakes of Paramount, and do me a favor, make time to film shots only for the trailer that are not in the movie.
I already got
Right.
plans for that. Yeah.
Please, good.
I'm not using anything from the third act. Like I'm not going to use anything from the third act. We don't need
Good.
to. There's plenty
Right.
of stuff to fuck around with. So
Great.
yeah, I think we're just gonna. I already have like stuff that we filmed that I'm like, oh, that's a trailer moment. You know what I mean? Or oh, that's a line for the
Yes.
trailer. So
Love it.
I got that, but I really don't want to spoil any deaths, and I really don't want to spoil any any reveals, because there's a lot of reveals throughout the whole movie. So as long as I don't
Nice.
reveal anything like big, then I'm okay. Then I'm happy.
Oh,
Counting on
I
you,
got
man.
I got another good one. You should do like an infomercial where it's like, "Hi, I'm Jake, and I'm making a movie, Red Right Hand," and then it's
Oh
just
my
like
God,
it's
that's
just like
great.
like somebody running by with Ghostface like chasing them, and then you're just walking by all these disasters, all calm and like collected, and just be like, "Yeah, so here at Rigor Mortis Productions, we want to provide you the best Red Right Hand Scream fan film you could get," and it's just like, ah! It's just
You see blood.
Yes.
yeah, like,
Wall.
And then
yeah, like,
and then
stuff.
blood splatter on the screen,
Yes.
and then just
Or,
says
like, you could-
red
if you
right
could, like,
hand.
I don't know if you have anyone that can do like good CGI or something, but just have somebody running by on fire or something, and it's just like and then you just like
Yes.
step over a dead body. And you just,
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
nothing.
go in, like,
Yeah.
that would be great. Like it's
Oh
just
my
like, but you
gosh.
just got to be like super calm and like kind of stoic and just like
Yeah, just talking like, yes, we have a movie coming out sometime soon. You guys are gonna love
Yes.
it, I think.
Yes.
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 Yes, you should do that type of voice. That would be perfect.
That
Oh
would
my
be great. I'm
gosh.
telling you, see.
Oh, I already got
see
some.
that.
You got the juices flowing right now. I kind of know where I'm. Yeah, I think I got an idea of something. It's gonna
Very
be fun.
cool.
Just do like what Stephen King did for Maximum Overdrive in the trailer. Go back and watch the trailer. He's like standing there in front of the truck, I got this movie's maximum overdrive. It's gonna scare the HELL out of you.
It was
It's like-
funny because he says, over the years, many people have adapted my movies, but
Yes.
nobody's really gotten it right. I thought it was time for me to take a stab at it.
That's
so
And, you know, and he's
That's
got
why
the
it's the
weird Stephen
trailer.
King eyes going on.
Yeah.
And, man, that was so freaking funny.
It's great.
Oh, God.
That movie's a
Like,
classic.
Are you
It
sick
is.
of? Are you sick of fan-made films? Do you want a real film? Well, you're not going to get that with this. What this is a fan film.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. Like, listen, I'm pumped for it, but we had a $5,000 budget. Like, we were doing the most we can with that.
No, I
you know
know.
what I mean?
That's why you hype it up and then you just shoot it down. Like, like, are you tired of the same old fan film? Do you want something more? Well, you're not going to get that with Red Right Hand. What you will get, though, is
It's kind of cool, but
What you will get, though, is
Yeah.
a film that was made on $5,000.
Right?
I should,
I will
yeah,
not
just be as like
guarantee.
transparent with the trailer as possible. Just be like, yeah, we made this for $5,000. It's okay. You guys will love it.
But
You're like,
you should
I'm not
see
going
it.
to guarantee you a multi-million-dollar experience, but what I can give you is a lot of fan love. You know?
Oh,
Give you
it
a
can
lot of
be
loving.
sensual.
Oh, we do like to get sensual on this page. So
That's right. Jake, real quick, why don't you tell everybody we're doing it in reverse order tonight, just because we can.
That's
Tell
okay.
everybody about your stream coming up afterwards.
yeah, I got a stream at 7:30 tonight. I'm doing it a little differently this time around. Doing streams a little. I got some crazy shit to spice it up tonight. So I'm ready to go. I rested all day yesterday and I got some stuff done for the movie. Now I'm ready to stream like all night. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good stream. It's gonna be fun. So don't miss it. 7:30.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And to complete the quadrant of amazingness on the screen, yes, Carrie, thank you. I do have a live stream tomorrow night at 10:30 Eastern. My guest will be Master Chaos TV, and we're going to talk about everything. Nope, bodies, Halloween Ends, Scream, all that stuff, all that jazz. So make sure you guys are there, 10:30 Eastern tomorrow night. And real quick, on Sunday night, for members only of my channel, if you are a Cravenite, we are doing a watch party of Wes Craven's new Nightmare, ladies and gents. And it's going to be a good time. So make sure, if you guys are not a member yet or a Cravenite, check out my channel after this stream. Click the join button. I can still get you an invitation out for this watch party this weekend. It's going to be a great time. And we'd love to see you over there. So, voila. That's what's going on. I need the little air horn thing. Okay. Carrie, thank you for doing all that in the chat. Much appreciated for us.
Carrie,
Very nice.
you're all right.
That's right.
Oh.
Yo.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some aggressiveness going here.
God damn.
Man.
She's gonna get herself some killjoy. That's
right.
Here comes the fan fix.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Jennifer Austin. By the way, everyone in the chat, I've been putting your names up as I've been going through as our silent way of saying hello, because you guys know we see you're here. We appreciate you all. So just a real big blanket hello, guys, right? Just hello, everyone. We appreciate you all. Almost 50 of you amazing people here right now. We appreciate all of you here.
We
And,
appreciate you.
So, Knight, real quick, before we move
Yes.
off Samara, so all the three of us have already talked about what we predict Samara Weaving's role to be possibly in this movie. And most of us are on the same page that she's probably an opening kill, or she could be a ghost face, but like a, CC Cooper kind of deal if she's a victim, or if she's a ghost face, maybe like a Debbie Salt, not in terms necessarily of being a relative, but she could be. But more in like the shooting time, how she was, sprinkled right throughout that whole movie, and then her big moment at the end in the theater. What are your thoughts right now, man, with Samara Weaving? In
First of all, I am beyond excited that we have Samara Weaving in this movie. This is just great stuff. I mean, this is like, we've all been wishing it and wanting it and so forth, and here we go. But there is that fear that it could be the opening kill, and it would fall in line, with the whole idea of the celebrity opening kill. So there's that. But part of me is also wondering, it almost seems like that's just so easy to guess, and it might end up being that way. But I don't know, man. I'm thinking she could be involved with this, kind of like as a Ghostface killer. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or maybe like a big red herring. Like, I mean, a super like big red herring. Like,
I thought
that
you said she's gonna have big red hair. I'm sorry. I said big red hair. I'm like, oh, that'd be
Yes.
different. Sorry.
it would. But but yeah, I'm happy she's gonna be in it. I really do hope she's not the opening kill though. It's like I actually
know.
want to see her in the movie,
Me too.
But yeah, I tend to think she's not gonna be. It's possible the opening kill, but I'm tending to think that it's got to be more to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's maybe wishful thinking.
Yes.
I hope that she's not just in the first whatever amount of minutes of the film and that's it. That would.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
15
I'll
minutes.
still be happy to see her, but with her ability and talent and so forth, I just hope to see her in this movie, for the long haul.
Cody
And it'd be
Cody made a good point. He said, "What if she's in Stab?" That's something we haven't talked about. That's
With
that's
the-
a really good point.
With the big cast, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I mean,
like what if
Yeah.
she's in Stab, or like especially because
On the
so many
play.
people think she looks like Liv.
Right.
What if they did make a movie about what the
About
events
the
happened in
Scream 5 events?
and she's playing Liv in Scream and Stab?
wow. Well,
That's actually a really good point. That's a
I-
really good point.
yeah.
I don't hate it, and let me explain why. Because you could do something like Scream 3, where you have characters from like the Broadway play who are like actors and actresses, and they're like doing the events of Scream 5, and now they're sucked into this. Like the real life killings and all that. You could kind of make it a like reference to Scream 3, reference to Scream 2 at the same time in this one movie. I'd be okay with that. I'd be like, okay, hey, maybe. I kind of want them to get away from the Stab films though, more than anything. I feel like we've done that a
Me too.
lot in the
Me
last
too.
two
Yeah.
films. But that
Yeah.
is that's pretty different, man. I mean, that's a pretty different approach. And this is New York. We're probably going to be dealing with some kind of Broadway play. So
Yeah.
It's just like what else? Like I agree with you with the Stab thing. It's like what else? Like Scream 2 was great, right? With the Stab because it's like that's really like that's
It was the first time.
yeah, it was the first time. It was really cool. And then Scream 3, I thought did it perfectly. Like after
Right.
Scream 3, it was like, what else are you going to do to top that? You had the
Yeah.
setup of Stab and like it's like the scream within the scream, it's
Mm.
Scream, it's what Scream is to us in the movie. And so it's like, oh, that's really cool. And then you actually had like the film within a film, art imitating life type movie. And it was like, okay, that's perfect. And it's just like ever since then, it's like they don't know what else to do. And it's like, well, maybe because there's nothing else you really can do.
and that's
Right.
okay. Hey, that's all
there's
right.
nothing wrong with that.
That's
Like, I don't mind
Yeah.
a passing, like in passing reference or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's like maybe they're talking to somebody, oh yeah, I'm getting ready to watch, Stab 8 or something, as they're talking to
Yeah.
Ghostface. Like, cool. Like, there you go. Like, you can still keep it alive, but you don't
Right.
need to like force
It doesn't
feed
need-
it into the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it can just be there kind of in the background, but it doesn't have to be anything that's like, here we go, here's Stab, let's
Yeah.
let's take
Right.
some minutes to talk about Stab.
We haven't mentioned Stab in 30 minutes. There you go.
Make it an Easter egg, not such a focal point.
Right.
That's,
Yeah.
I'm just kind
Agreed.
of I'm just kind of over it personally. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. It was great. I'm done. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Agreed.
Do something else.
Wow. Speaking of moving on, how about Halloween Ends test screens feedback?
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
baby.
the alleged two versions. You heard this, right? There's
Yes.
allegedly two versions of the movie going around, and whichever test result is better is what we're going to get in October.
Yeah, but
So
they said both reviews came back as Michael Myers. This is the fewest Michael Myers film or screen time ever.
Yep.
Like that concerns me. I made a video about it today. Like that really concerns me because like yeah, we love Lori. She's the final girl. She's the first final girl. So many things. I mean, technically, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like she's the most known like first final girl. and like all that stuff. Like, and it's just like, as great as she is, we go to see Michael. Like you go to watch a Halloween movie to see Michael. Like you think of Halloween, you think of Michael. Like everything orbits around Michael. And like I understand not doing like a Halloween Kills style movie. Like that's fine. But you know, like the whole point is like when you're watching a Halloween movie, like you get little glimpses of Michael, and it's that buildup, it's that anxiety, it's that tension building. Like you know he's coming. You know, like Halloween H2O is a great example, right? Laurie keeps seeing Michael, but you don't know if it's really him or if it's just in her mind. But it's building that up, and then you get these brief moments. Sometimes it's not even Michael; it's just like the car. But we know Michael's in the car,
Right.
and we know that she's hallucinating. But we know that he's coming. And then you have that stalking moment, and then boom, he comes in, and everything escalates.
Do we know what the supposed amount of time that he's in the movie is? Have we heard that?
No,
No.
I just not for
Okay.
like when I was reading like the reviews or whatever. It just said that this like they said don't expect. It said something along the lines of like don't expect a like a Michael detailed film. It's not going to be anything like Halloween Kills. Like it's the fewest amount of screen time for Michael ever, is what they said. So like and I get okay. So like Halloween 18 was like the establishment film. Here are the characters.
Yeah.
Here's Michael. Here's everything. Halloween Kills was the Michael movie.
Yes, it was
Michael's
Michael's
greatest hits.
movie.
Yeah, Laurie and Hawkins, basically everyone except for Allison was pushed to the back burner, right? And then now it looks like Halloween Ends is going to be Michael pushed to the back burner and everybody else front and center. And yeah, like that could work, but I just, are we really going to have like, 40-minute stretches without even seeing Michael Myers?
I don't know if it's gonna be.
I
that
don't.
case.
I tend to. Go ahead, Jake.
Think about the original film. Like think about the
Yeah.
original Halloween, like where you get
Yeah.
like little doses of them, and it's like you don't really see him. You don't really see Michael do anything super crazy. I mean, I guess you could argue the car scene where he like smacks the window and breaks it, and you can see the hammer. Maybe
Right.
like I think it's gonna be stuff like that. Like that's what I'm really
Yeah.
hoping for with Ends. And if there's only a little bit of Michael Myers throughout your first two acts, and it's kind of like this goes back to the stalking, even if it's a weirder movie, I'm okay with that. If they take it a little slower this time around, get us up to a slow burn by the end and get it really cooking in that third act, I'm okay with that. Personally, I'm down. I don't want them to introduce like a shit ton of new characters in the third act of this new David Gordon Green trilogy. Essentially, I kind of want them to focus on the already established characters. I want to see some exposition. I want to see where they're at 4 years later after the events of the last two films. So if that's the route they go and it's a slower movie with more character development, it's going to shock people who are expecting Halloween Kills or the intensity of both Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. But I think it'll be the best way to end this franchise, this new timeline, in my opinion. If it's what you say, Fate, where it's like 40 minutes without Michael Myers, that would suck. Yeah, totally.
That's kind of how they're making it sound.
Well,
They're kind of making it sound like he's not really in this movie.
Well,
And-
here's but.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. No, finish that, and then.
Oh
I'll
no, I
jump
was
in.
just gonna say they're just kind of quickly is that they're saying this is the fewest screen time he's ever gotten. Like, and you got to think about it. Like, how do they build up the tension with Michael if there's a 4-year gap? Everyone believes Michael's dead and he's living as a hermit in the woods or something. Like, how do you build up that? How do you get that stalker Michael? Because all it's gonna be are just like flashes of him, eating rats like Jake. Well, Jake might like it, but most people are gonna.
Oh,
be
I'll
like,
love it.
Where's like they want to see. You want to see that stalking. You want to see.
Right.
It's not gonna be the same thing because like at least like I said in movies like H2O stuff like that, you had scenes with Michael and you knew he was coming. You might have not have gotten him stalking Laurie, but you saw him escape. You saw him steal the car. You saw him kill these people. You see the stops, you see the moments, and you're like, he's coming, here it comes. And it's just that buildup and that tension, and then boom, it explodes. How are they going to do that in this movie when everyone thinks Michael's dead?
Well, here's my thought on it, and I'd like to. I mean, I guess if that is true, if this is the least amount, someone really did some homework on that, because you get you're looking at 12 movies and you're counting the amount of minutes that Michael's in them, and that's quite possible. But here's the thing, like Jake was saying, 78, you didn't even really see Michael until the second half of the movie,
Yep.
and more specifically the final act, that last whatever it was, 25, 29 minutes or whatever. But it was never like he was never like right in your face, like, taking selfies on this. A lot of it was, you'd see the shadows, you'd see the stalking, you see him in the dark and stuff like that. I'm expecting or hoping, but expecting the movie's going to be more along those lines where there's going to be buildup. And I think Kills was the reasoning for it. In other words, Michael obliterated that town again. Well, not again, but you get what I'm saying. He definitely screwed everyone's mind up in Haddonfield. So his legend is stronger than ever because they know, yeah, the boogeyman is real. He killed a bunch of people 4 years ago, whatever. He's real, whatever. And I think for us as the viewers, I think I mean, we know he's alive. And obviously the characters, they might be thinking that he's not or wondering if he is. But I think that's where the tension is going to come from, is seeing how these characters, especially Laurie and Allison and Hawkins, how they're dealing with the events of Kills. If they do it right, that could still be very cool as far as just, when they hear a noise at night, and they're like, especially Allison. So I guess what I'm saying, I'm kind of ranting, but the point I'm trying to make is if it's in the vein of 78, I'm okay with not seeing a lot of them as long as the story works around him, you know what I mean? Or in his honor, so to speak. Because I think it's a great way to end this timeline to kind of tie the bow back to how it was in 78, where you didn't see a lot of Michael. You built up the tension, and by the time everything popped off, it was like 20-25 minutes or less in the movie, and you were totally invested, like when he started to, go after Laurie and stuff like that. That's what I'm hoping, and that's what would make sense to me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, to me, having it mimic 78 makes total sense. Total sense.
Kind of going back to the beginnings in a way.
Right.
Yeah,
Ending, kind of the whole circle type of thing. We started this way, we went to 2018 to, reintroduce characters. Kills was Michael's movie and how it affects Haddonfield, how evil infects people. So everybody already knows, like, yeah, the boogeyman is definitely real, and so forth and so forth. And then ends is really the fallout of that. And then obviously realizing that, oh shit, he isn't dead. We thought he was dead. We didn't know he is not dead. Uh-oh. We know what he did 4 years ago, so.
Well, and Jen Warner's saying, trauma. This movie could be about the trauma of those events, which causes severe emotional damage. And I have to agree.
Emotional damage.
I mean, it'd be some really cool character moments,
Yeah.
for Allison, especially Allison, and obviously Laurie and Hawkins. Um, and I really do think that the events in Kills is really gonna have weight and ends, which it should. I mean, it's a trilogy, so.
Does it though? Like,
What?
so I mean, like, what if I could see them just completely blowing past, like, what happened because of the 4 year gap? Like, I could see, like, I really think what's going to happen is we're going to get, like, the opening scene. It's going to be Laurie. You're going to see Michael stalking Laurie. It's going to be that buildup. She knows he's watching. She knows that she's just going about her business. Michael strikes. We get that scene from CinemaCon or whatever. And then she believes she killed him. Everyone believes he's dead. And then
Except for
they're just
Allison.
gonna fast score. They're gonna or maybe except for Allison, and they just fast forward 4 years, and that's it. And they just are all happy. Maybe Laurie and Hawkins are together. Allison, like they're like this family. All that stuff. Like life is good. And then you get some flashes of Michael. Michael, maybe kills some hikers at one point, something like that. And then it's just going to be this slow burn until you get to the end scene where Michael's back and the town realizes like Michael's alive.
Well, I think it might be somewhat like that. I think Allison is going to still be raw, from everything. She's just going to me, she's going to be a different type of character. And I bet you that there'll be like, a kill or two or something weird that goes on that's really going to make Allison kind of start to kind of get more hyper vigilant like Laurie was in 2018. And she's going to be the one that's going to be like, it's got to be the boogeyman. It's got to be the boogeyman. And she might have whatever, a lot of paranoia, see things in shadows, all those little things that'll happen. And I think that's why she's going to have a lot of focus in this movie, because obviously she lost so much in the previous two. And I think that's where a lot of character stuff between her is going to happen, and with Laurie. And I think they're gonna, and I think that's how you sprinkle Michael in. There'll be, maybe a kill or two, or maybe, some weird occurrences or whatever. And I think that's how they're gonna. I think that's what, at least in my mind, that's how you could have, maybe that first, half of the movie or first third of the movie where you don't have a lot of things going on with Michael, right in front of us, but yet he's still present. You know what I'm saying?
I have concerns though too with just like, how are they going to go about this? Okay, like, because let's say like the opening scene is like Laurie taking out Michael, or she believes she took out, right?
Mhm.
Like, how do we confirm that? Because let me explain it differently, because I feel like I'm explaining it terribly. Like so Michael, that she believes Michael's dead. They come, they take the body and all that stuff, right? Like, there has to be a body, otherwise Laurie's never going to believe it. So like, unless she blows his brains out and he survives, or it's something crazy like that. Because what I'm saying is, like, if he go, like, let's say they come, they take his body and he goes to the morgue or something, and he escapes, she's gonna know about that. She's gonna hear. I mean,
Right.
she knew when he was getting out. She knew when he went to prison. She knew everything. She was waiting. Like, so that would be news. Like, Haddonfield would find out about that and would know, like, hey, like, it's like, the body's, Michael's still alive. Michael's still out there. How does the town just go back to normal after that? That's my biggest concern, is how do you make it believable that Michael died to Laurie, who is just crazily obsessive and wants him dead. But, I just think that is a huge inherent problem, because Laurie's not going to be the kind of person that's like, oh, well, maybe Michael won't come back to Haddonfield no more. He's just going to, he's just, they took him 5 towns away and he escaped. It's fine. Like, I just don't see that happening.
Maybe it's the situation where it's like, he gets away, everyone thinks he's dead. Laurie just has a breakdown. She freaks out. She gets like taken into like some kind of institution or something, and she goes through like a ridiculous amount of like therapy or something along those lines. You know what I mean? And when she's like 4 years later, she's out. Maybe she's with Hawkins. Maybe she's better. Maybe she's still going to therapy once a week or something. And the whole idea is that she's gotten past Michael Myers, but then Michael returns to town after still being alive. They could do that. They could do that right, I think. Maybe. It depends on how they do it.
My only problem, my problem though is that, like, again, like, if they took the body, like, so say she believes he's dead. She, like, there's something that's crazy that happens. She believes he's dead, and they come, they take the body. She watches him disappear, all that stuff with the morgue and the coroners and all that stuff. And then Michael escapes. Those coroners are gonna die. So there's going to be a trail. It's not like Michael's just going to disappear and everyone's like, where did Michael's body go? Oh, well, not our problem. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be, like, how do you definitively confirm he's dead to where Laurie, like, if Laurie wasn't some crazy obsessed person, like, I think it would make sense, because it's like, like, if they take away and days later he, wakes up or whatever, she thinks life is good, but no, she's the kind of person, based on what we've seen, to follow the morgue, to follow the coroners to the morgue, and like wait and make sure and be there with them and say, no, I want to make sure he's dead. Like, I just don't see Laurie just saying, it's all good. Like, let him go. That's my biggest concern, is that you're just going to have this weird sequence. But anyway, sorry.
I think it's going to be more of, it's not that she's just okay with it. Like, she's gonna like, oh yeah, everything's fine. I think it's the idea of so much time has passed, the wound has healed a little more. You know what I mean? I mean, I think you can make the argument of like, well, she was still paranoid 40 years after the event. Like, why is she not paranoid now? And I'm not saying she's not going to be paranoid. I'm saying she's not going to be like living her life in isolation. She's gone through a lot of
Right.
therapy. She's had people tell her like, that's not good for you. You know what I mean? You got to get out there. You got to be with you got to be in your granddaughter's life now that she doesn't have any parents. So, something along those lines. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like that could be the route. And it's like she's like giving up her paranoia because she did wrong by Karen to now do things differently with Allison. I could see
Yes.
that being a whole like that could be why there's so little Michael Myers, because there's got to be so much exposition with Laurie showing what happened over the course of the past 4 years, showing her how, like what happened between her and Michael and all that. And that's pretty important to this story, because if it's going to be 4 years later, you can't give me Laurie Strode exactly how we saw her in Halloween and Halloween Kills already.
That's
we
right.
We have to see a new version of Laurie, because just like how I've talked about, like I like how 2018 is her rise and Kills is kind of her fall. And now I want this to be kind of her resurrection, essentially. And
Yep.
resurrection is not a good word. We don't like to throw that around when it comes to Halloween. But
Right.
I just think that it would be really cool if they went that route of like her, okay, hey, I'm rising again. Here we go. I'm better than I was last time. I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? And then suddenly now she's gotten better. She's past Michael Myers, no longer in a factor in her life. And now she starts seeing him again around town, and she thinks she's hallucinating. Like she thinks like there could be something along those lines. We could do. I've talked about in the past about how parallels to the original film could work here really well because of that whole idea of setting that up. If the first 30 minutes are exposition with Laurie showing how she got to this position 4 years later, you could do a bunch of parallels. Like maybe her and Hawkins are walking and they see Michael around a bush or something around a corner, just like parallel that scene from the original, and he's gone, you know? And it's just like, Laurie's like, did I hallucinate that, or was that real? What is going on? And she's going nuts. That could be interesting to me, but there's definitely a very, very easy way to fuck that up and make it just feel like, wow, this is just, you just took the script from the original and kind of bam, slapped it onto this. I hope that's not the case.
How do you solve the Michael problem? Because like I understand
so
what
little
you're saying.
Michael.
I understand completely what you're saying with the Laurie thing, but again, it's still like that doesn't solve the Michael dilemma. Like she would have to either believe that he's dead, because what I'm saying is I understand the 4-year gap or after. Like I completely am following what you're saying. The problem is until we get to the point where she believes Michael's dead. Like, so what? Michael just plays dead for like 2 weeks? Like, you know, he allows himself to get buried and stuff,
Or
and then, crawls out. Like,
or maybe I don't know, and I haven't really thought about this, but maybe, you know, after the confrontation we saw in the con trailer or whatever, you know, maybe if, I don't know, that's kind of cheap too. I was just thinking, but you know, I don't know. If she blows up the house,
telling you, it's a real
I'm still going with the time.
dilemma.
There's been so much time though without Michael. That to me is the answer. Like there's gonna be 4 years without anything from Michael.
She had 40 years with him locked away in a penitentiary, and she still was obsessed with him.
But you could argue that that's different. Like that. So it's kind of like the whole. This is weird. This is a really weird thing to draw from, but it's kind of like the Schrodinger's cat box thing or whatever, where it's like if you put a dead cat, or if there's a cat inside of a box and it's closed and you can't hear anything from it, is it alive or dead? You know that Michael Myers is locked up somewhere and alive when he's in a penitentiary. You can go to visit him, you can, you know, whatever. We saw people in the very first scene of Halloween 2018 is literally that. But now with his whereabouts unknown and everyone else saying that he's dead for 4 years, like, have you ever heard of the validity effect? If people tell you something over and over again, you're going to start to assume that it's true after a long period of time.
Plus,
so that could be
ahead.
the case here. Sorry, that was it. That's all I want to say.
No. But also the other thing too is that I really believe she's going to be, and you said it too, Jake, she's going to be less obsessed with Michael, because at the end of Kills, she finally came to the realization, because Hawkins said it, it was never about you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? I mean, now think about this. I know this is how I would feel as far as the realization of that. It's basically like, you know what? It was never about me. I literally might have caused my own daughter's death because I kept obsessing about Michael Myers. He never wanted to come after me and get revenge, and thereby going after my daughter and going after my granddaughter and my granddaughter's boyfriend. So when whatever happens in the beginning of the movie, like maybe there's an explosion or something, and you know, his body can't be found, or someone else was in the house and they can't identify it, or whatever. I don't know, something weird. They could do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't see him. And I think the other part of it isn't so much that she's like, whatever. But I think she's going to be basically like, I gave him the strength to basically come after my family because I obsessed over him. He was never coming after me. So I think that's going to be part of her healing, is to start or lose the obsession of the boogeyman, and I think that's going to show her in a different light. I think her characterization is going to be a lot closer to how she was in 78, as far as just a regular person, just, living her life, she's a grandmother, whatever. But Allison won't let go of it that easily. I think Allison is really going to, have that obsession thing going on, or at least that rage inside of her. You know what I mean? And I think that could really have some cool interactions between her and Laurie, as characters, which of course is great for those actresses to have those type of weighty moments. And again, Michael's not there after a year, after 2 years, after 3 years, after 4 years. Let it go. He's not, and even if he is alive, he's not coming after Laurie Strode. He's doing whatever. Hey, I'm not worried about it. I'm going to try to finally live my life after 40 years of destroying my life, my daughter's life, and my granddaughter's life. I think that's how you get over that part of it. As far as the beginning, how, he's either missing or presumed dead or whatever, they can figure out something with that. But I think,
how much time do you think passes between Halloween Kills and the opening scene
of Ends?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be this. I think, well, I don't know. It's not going to be, it won't be 4 years right in the beginning. I don't think.
No. Yeah.
I think what they showed in the con, I think that's pretty much right after Kills. That's what I'm thinking.
That could be the case. Wow, we lost half the collective now.
Yeah, we did. It's only 50% now.
Damn.
The good half. No, I'm just joking.
Right. Yeah. Don't let them know. Screw it. No, I agree with you, man. I don't think it's going to be 4 years later immediately, right from the get-go. But the other side of that is we have Laurie like bleeding out, basically. Her stomach's ripped up. What are they gonna do with that? Is Laurie finally gonna make her way over to the Myers house? What's gonna be the case there? Well,
here's two things to think of. One, it is extreme. I mean, this is like Scream 5 level, fuckery. If that scene from the con is in the finale of this movie. So I'm giving these filmmakers a huge benefit of the doubt and assume that cannot be the ending. So the only way place I can put it is either in the middle or the beginning. To me, the middle doesn't make sense because we know at the end they're probably going to have they're going to have the confrontation, presumably. So yes, but you're right. How does she, with the injuries and all that type of stuff? I wonder if, and I didn't hear anything in the con trailer about what she was wearing or how she looked. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have given away a lot. Because if she was wearing, let's say, a similar outfit to what she had at the end of 18 and the beginning of Kills before she was in the hospital, then that would have definitely connected the dots and said, hey, this is either that same night or the next night or whatever. So it is an obstacle, but to me, it would make more sense that it starts off, whatever it is, that same night, a night later or whatever, something happens, with the, the confrontation, and then you cut to the 4 years. And then of course, Michael does come back,
Yeah.
Now maybe I could be totally wrong, but to me that it kind of makes the most sense. I mean, there's still, sticking points, like you said, how could she do that with those injuries? I mean, maybe the, what was it? The morphine or whatever the pain
She's drugged up.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that could be the case, man. Shot of adrenaline or some bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, maybe she's just ready to go, that could be it.
I mean, look at Stu. After he got, stabbed 4 times, he still had a little bit of oomph going after Sydney, but
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he had a lot of enough to do this.
Yeah! I'm ready, baby!
Come on now, guys.
Get it up!
Get it up.
Get it up!
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Get up!
That was fun. Wow,
Yeah.
Jake.
Never enough stew.
Never enough stew.
Never
No.
enough. Never enough. But yeah, I mean, it is a sticking point. Like how after being in so much pain and injured like that, how could you even? But then again, you know, uh, who knows, man? I mean, we know in the alternate ending, the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
So what if that's part of the opening, or some way somehow she knows that she has to go there.
What's up,
She
Chris?
gets herself, hey, what's up, Chris? Gets herself all bandaged up to the nines and an extra shot. And she just, hey, man, look, I mean, obviously, you'd do anything for your kid. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying it'd be
Yeah,
smart,
that's true.
but I'm just saying I could see it. I wouldn't think it's a smart thing, for her to do. But then again, we know she's bullheaded, and obviously it's her kid. And I don't know.
If your kid's in danger, yeah, no, that would be a good enough reason for me to say
Yeah.
like, oh, that's how she made it, yeah,
Yeah.
it's good enough for me if they take that route.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, like if you do that, she would definitely want to see a body, but I don't know, like I'm hearing what Fate says now if they do something like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I still think it could be cool if they do the 4 years later thing, and then it's like, oh, she's kind of over it, and then she starts seeing Michael again. That's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what they do with it, because one thing's for sure about this opening, we were left on a cliffhanger from Halloween Kills. It's what a lot of people don't realize about
Yeah.
where this movie needs to go. We need to see how that concludes or what happens, because you can't just
Right.
go 4 years later at the start of
Right.
this movie. You can't. There's so
Right.
much that we need to know going into this
Yeah.
to set it up. So we have to. I think 100% it's starting in 2018 again, and then for like the first 10 minutes or so, and then 4 years later is going to happen. It's just all about what are we going to see to wrap that up from that night, and then flash forward to the future.
Agreed. Totally agreed. I can't wait, man. I think that's the best thing about all of this, and I'm just hoping that the trailer doesn't give any clues to it. I mean, obviously, as a content creator, we're going to be studying it, and that part of it is fun. But I don't want to be spoiled, man, because I think right now this conversation we're having about how we can make this movie, the beginning of it, work and believable, and all these things we're just talking about these last couple minutes. That's what I'm so excited for. When I go to the theater to watch it, because I'm just going to be like, how the hell are they going to pull this off? Obviously, they found a way, at least in their minds, whether it's effective to us or not. That's another question. But obviously, they put a movie together. So I'm just so curious as to how it's going to play out. And as a fan, man, I love that feeling so much, man. I really do.
Oh yeah. No,
I really do.
I'm very excited. I think no matter what they give us, I think it's just exciting to have a new Halloween film coming out in October more than anything. And
It is.
with this one, to conclude everything that happened in Kills, I didn't love the last movie. I thought it had some problems, but I did still really enjoy it. I thought it was cool, And to see this all get wrapped up, I'm very excited. This is a really cool story they're weaving right here, and I think it's so cool. But yeah, it's got a lot of missing parts. Ends has got to be that. Ends has got to be all those missing pieces we don't have yet, and I cannot wait to see how it wraps up. I'm still very intrigued by this series.
Yeah, I mean, and supposedly from the test screenings, from what was said, it was no spoilers, but saying that the audience was into it, and also saying that that they were saying the ends would be more well received, like 2018 was.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I'm ready, man, because I think 2018 was a really good return. 2018 was a very good movie from A to Z. And so if Ends is on that level, then I'm excited. I mean, I don't put a lot of stock into the whole test screen thing, but I'm just saying it was good news. Like, if they had said well, this is going to be more along the lines of how Kills was, then I would have been like, uh-oh, you
Yeah,
know?
then I'd start getting worried. Yeah.
Right.
I appreciate that they're saying some weird stuff about it. To me, those are the movies I typically like the most, that are so adventurous and so like out there. So
Yeah.
I hope it's good, man. I do want something that feels a little more familiar, but I'm excited if it's fucking weird too. Like, listen, I love fucking weird movies, so it's kind of one of those things where I feel like it's a win-win for me at least. So, well, hey, we'll just have to see, man. We'll just have to see. Craven, how do you feel about all this?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm with you guys. I just want it to be really, really well done. And there's multiple endings. I think we could probably at least come up with four to six right now if we just wrote them down. You know, the Dreamcatcher theory. We've got the theory where Michael wins and he kills everybody. He's the lone survivor. And then you've got the scenario where Allison kills Michael and she is the final girl. That's three. Then we've got a fourth scenario where Michael's body dies, which is one that I always talk about, but that immaterial spiritual evil that's you can't kill. It's not physical. And that would leave his body when he died and it would possess another host. And then you have it going into Allison would really make people angry. If she turned into a Myers, my gosh.
Right.
Or she turned into the new shape, let's say.
Right.
But, or let's say it's not Allison, though, if they don't want to totally make everybody mad, and someone else, just a random person, walking down the street, and it's all of a sudden they stop. It's almost like you hear like the wind blow, this sound, and the leaves blow, but it's more than the leaves blowing. It's representing that spiritual thing taking over this person's body, going into them, and then they look and they go grab a mask and put it on, end credits. That's like 4 or 5 endings we just wrote right there in like 2 minutes, and that's what I love about this movie. And it could be something completely different than any of that. And I mean, Lori could win, for crying out loud. She could kill Michael. She's not going to. She's going to die. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, right? Right. That's like number 6, I think we're at. So,
oh yeah,
that's cool.
Now, I will throw something out there. There was a really interesting comment earlier from someone who said, "What if that Michael actually did die, like in the mob scene and Kills, and now he's like a ghost, he's supernatural or something along those lines, and then that's why he was able to kill everybody afterwards, and that's how he got to the house so fast without being seen, yada yada." Do you guys think this movie goes supernatural in any direction? Like, doesn't even have to be that, but do you think we give Michael supernatural powers or something along those lines in this film, or do you think that's just like not in the cards at this point?
Wow. Well, anything is possible. I mean, like I said, we've seen Busta Rhymes use kung fu, so we know anything can happen.
Oh man.
But I tend to think we won't go that route, with him being dead in the mob scene and then resurrected. At the very most, I think, or I should say at the least, I think we'd see of it is what Steven is saying. And maybe at the end, when he's quote unquote killed or defeated or whatever, that somehow we get a wink and a nod to Allison, or if there's another character, because I've heard rumors about, I don't know if you guys have heard this stuff, but I've heard rumors about another person possibly taking up the mantle, so to speak. It's not as overt as Jamie Lloyd in 4, but it is kind of like, okay, well, this is another person that is going to basically follow in those types of footsteps that Michael, led. So I think that's about as far as supernatural as we'll go. I don't think Michael died in that mob scene. I just don't. Because the other thing too is in that voiceover that Jamie Lee Curtis did, which was so cool, just talking about, our fear drives him, when we try to, I forgot how she worded it, but basically saying you can't, physical violence isn't, the way to stop him. And, as he kills, he transcends, blah, 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 blah. I think that kind of, the way I read it anyways, is solidified to me that he wasn't defeated in that moment, or he wasn't killed in that moment, because the fear was still there, the vigilante mentality was still there. Just beat him down. That's how we're gonna defeat the boogeyman. And according to what Laurie was saying, you can't beat him that way. So that's what I think. What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna go supernatural, Jake, or Craven, or Faith?
I really don't want it to, but like there is this part of me that is worried that it will. I think my favorite thing about the David Gordon Green like new movies is the fact that they're teasing it. Everyone thinks there's something supernatural with him, but the truth is he's just a psychopath. That to me has been the most interesting thing to watch, to see everyone scramble and freak out and like, oh my God, we have to do something. This is the end of the world, and going nuts over literally just one guy inciting. It shows how fear can control minds, and that to me is the most realistic, like fucked up, scary thing about the whole new two movies that I think they really do well. Even though, yes, it's a little like some people criticize the every evil dies tonight every 30 seconds, but that's, to me, that's pretty realistic. Like I feel like that's how it would go down if a group of people were all terrified of an unstoppable being that's just killing people. That's how it would go down. Like that's something like that. Sure, it's a little exaggerated, but I think that's how it would ultimately, like that's how the world will end. You know what I mean? And all that. So I like how I like how they portrayed that. I think that's a really cool element. And here we go. The best theory out there. The radio tower is controlling Michael.
That's another theory. It's like 7 now we've got to come up with. The radio
That's
tower.
right. That is another one. We don't talk about that one too much because the general will get upset. We're in trouble with the general right now.
It's the dumbest theory ever.
Val is cursing as we speak.
If they don't have Colonel Cochran coming back, man, Silver Shamrock, come on, man, that's what they gotta do. No,
oh man,
tell the Colonel to bring some of that chicken with them. We'll be all right.
Yes,
let's go, Colonel. Better not show up empty-handed, man.
We have multiple colonels here.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, wow. You guys, I tell you, I don't know.
I have a lot of concerns about this movie. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to watch it. I'm excited for it, but
I'm more concerned with Scream 6 now opposed to this movie, honestly.
Yeah, I have concerns with both of them. Don't get me wrong. But Halloween Ends comes first, so I'm one thing at a time.
One disaster at a time.
We gotta.
I think they're both going to be good. Honestly.
Oh, Michael gets a day job.
This is gonna be another.
There you go.
What's gonna happen is we're gonna come on the stream. All three of you are gonna talk about how incredible Halloween Ends is, and it's the greatest.
Yeah, baby.
Probably.
Ever. And this is great. I'm gonna be up here. Like that movie was trash.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so ready.
It's terrible. What are you talking about?
What are you
Michael? Yeah, Michael was only in the movie for 3 minutes, but it made
They were powerful 3 minutes.
They were powerful.
It was the best 3 minutes ever. Like
I can tell you this. It's just like when people were having that whole rumor about Michael's gonna die in the beginning of the movie. And it's like, come on, guys. That Hobo Myers, there's been a lot of crap out there, and it's like, well, number one, we gotta watch the movie because a lot of rumors is just like, what the heck. But if
no, we're done with the radio tower. We're not talking about
oh my god. But if Michael is used in this movie like 78, like, come on, man, that would be so cool. I know, and I know there's some folks, believe it or not, I know some folks, even some content creators, it's no hate or anything, but I know some folks aren't big fans of the 78 Halloween. Look at Val. No.
There you go, Val.
No.
Oh,
Hey, I need to get some music made to the radio tower dance. Like inverted upside down, back and forth to the sides.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
Do a whole radio tower dance song.
Yes. But but if it's similar to 7, I know some folks aren't big into 78 because they're like, well, I don't know why, it's not that great, or it's too slow, or this or that. But for those who are fans of it, and obviously David Gordon Green is a big fan of it, I think that it makes total sense for Michael to just be peppered throughout the movie, because we had a whole movie with him in it and kills. There was more Michael in kills than any other Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he went off.
Oh yeah.
He went
He was
to
the
fate's
star.
chagrin, but he went off, and so now you just kind of pull it back and get, like David Gordon Green said, this is going to be a more intimate, more contained movie. I think the cards are reading it just like that. It's going to be similar to 78. Michael's going to be peppered throughout, and then at the end of the movie, that last act or last 25, 28 minutes, whatever, it's like balls to the wall. The shape is here.
Get your balls to the wall. Who was the Iron Maiden? Remember that in the 80s? It was a song. Remember?
Yes.
Get
You
your
just came
balls
out of
to
nowhere
the
with that.
wall.
I just wasn't expecting it.
I think that was Iron Maiden.
I was just
What is AC/DC's song about balls?
Was it AC/DC?
No, they have a different. No, it's not that song.
Okay, yeah, it's a different one.
You have big balls or something.
I got big balls.
Yeah, that's
I don't.
You
It's on
got
Dirty
big
Deeds,
balls.
bro.
Yeah, that one there. I don't have that one on my playlist.
What? It's so good.
It is. It's actually really good.
Listen, man. When we watch Maximum Overdrive,
Oh my god!
when are we watching it again? When are we doing? I want to. I'm dead
Encore.
serious. I want to watch Encore Party
You know
with
what?
you.
Okay, we gotta. All right, I'll start thinking about it. We gotta at least like a week out.
Yeah.
So not at the beginning of this week coming up, but maybe
No,
the following week, and we can promote it.
Promote it.
I'll do a couple of clips from the party. Because man, we were laughing our asses off. It was so
good.
fun. Oh my
It
goodness.
was so fun.
Whew.
It was
That movie is a
genuinely
blast.
Seriously,
Oh my God.
man.
Yeah.
But
I
here's the
couldn't believe
thing.
it.
Since we watched that movie, I immediately went and put the Who Made Who soundtrack, which is the soundtrack from the movie. And all the songs you hear in the movie, they're all on the sound. And ever since I've been editing videos, just listening to it over and over again, reliving those songs from the movie. And it's like, dang.
Oh man.
So
Bro.
okay, I gotta ask. This is not horror at all, and this is a weird thing to kind of wrap up the stream with because I know we got to get moving here.
Yeah, we
but
do.
With ACDC, how do you guys feel about ACDC? Like with the rock, like here in Cleveland, it's like rock music is like that's our thing. You know what I mean? It's like we have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so like every channel is like consistently rock music. There is so much ACDC that plays just on the radio. Like my whole peace out, Michael. My whole young life was just AC/DC music, so now I can't even listen to like the hits. Like I've heard them so many times when I was a kid. It's like if I listen to AC/DC now, it's like the first two albums because they never play anything from the first two albums. How do you feel about that? Are you sick of AC/DC or are you still like fuck yeah, like that's rock music? I don't know. How do you guys feel? Because I listen to everything. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I listen to everything. I mean, I'll listen to it. Like it's not like my favorite band in the world, but you know, like I'll, if it's on the radio and I hear a song, like oh yeah, I'll listen to it. I'll break it up. Or if I'm in somebody's car and they're like, oh, I'm gonna jam some AC/DC, I'm like, yeah, throw it on. Like, but it's not like something. It's not like my go-to. Like it's not like like I want to listen to some music. Let's throw on some AC/DC. Like I'm not like that.
Yeah, I still love AC/DC. I mean, I got a whole bunch of their songs in my playlist. So I mean, they're not my favorite band, but I definitely respect their longevity and they have so many good hits. So that's how I look at it.
It's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I've never been a super huge AC/DC fan, but there's been songs that I like that I'll pull out. Like, Those About to Rock, We Salute You, and, Who Made Who, and Big Gun, which they did for another movie with Schwarzenegger, Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
Big Gun. I mean, it's a killer riff. So there's I'm a selective AC/DC fan. I'm not like one of those guys where I just play everything and love it.
Yeah.
So just
Agreed.
here and there. Yeah.
Agreed.
You know what popped in my head was you guys ever see the movie Focus with Will Smith and Margaret Robbie?
I've never seen it.
I know what it is, but I've never
you
seen it.
You guys got to see that. That is a great movie. That is a great movie. Like seriously, it is a great movie. Ah man, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
When you guys watch that movie, you'll think of this conversation.
What?
You'll be like, oh, I remember this. Like there's a scene. There's a scene in the movie. There's a scene in the movie that you're gonna be like, oh, like I know this.
Oh, hold on,
Okay.
Jake.
Oh.
Wait a second, Jake. Wait, just hold that pose. There we go. Oh,
wow, we get the
and
wink.
a wink.
That's all you get. That's all the
Got a
action.
wink up there too.
That was
That's all the
sick.
action you
know
get,
what's funny?
Bobby.
When I take my glasses off, my babies get upset because like they'll
They don't know you
like,
without them.
Yeah, like so if I take because I always wear my glasses like
That's
always.
hilarious.
So like anytime
my
like you know
God.
like if I like like my eyes itch or I got something in my eye, I'll take my glasses off and put them down, and they'll like walk up and
Wow.
be like glasses, like like
Wow.
like,
That's so
yeah,
funny.
or if like I'm sleeping and like they'll come in the room, they'll like come and they'll like and I'll like wake up and I'm like hi babies and they'll be like glasses here glasses.
That's funny. They're gonna become eye doctors.
Yeah,
Optometrist. Oh, that's hilarious.
fix my eyes.
Oh my gosh! Thank you, Val.
The general has spoken.
General and Carrie have been bringing
Yes.
it as always today.
Yep.
What's that? Yeah, rock and roll ain't noise pollution. Yeah, I remember that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't noise pollution.
Like I can never listen to Back in Black again. Like, dude, I've probably heard that song 1,000 times in my
Oh
life,
gosh,
and I'm
that's
not
a big one.
exaggerating.
Yeah.
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 But can you
Like,
play the
it's
riff?
good.
It's sort of like every movie too, though. Like every
True
like,
enough.
Yeah.
action movie and everything.
And commercials.
Yeah.
And commercials. Yes.
That song in
Yeah.
like every movie has those songs.
And it's like they're good
Right.
songs. They're not
Yeah.
bad, but I've just heard them a
Right.
million times. So I'm just
Yes.
like, I'm
Right.
kind of done with them. You know, I'm like,
It's
okay,
I understand.
cool.
Yeah, it's like,
That's
okay,
it.
well, that's
Right.
great, but like
And
not
we've all got a threshold, right? And you reach it, you just say, okay, that's it. I mean, I like it,
That's right.
but I'm good. I'm moving on. Give me
Yeah.
something else.
Right.
yeah.
But I'm not there with Maximum Overdrive. I'm ready. Let's go.
Never with
Oh, you
that.
Supernatural. Supernatural's got all the good.
Oh,
God
Oh,
damn it.
yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Have you guys seen Detroit Rock City?
Yes.
No.
I saw
Yeah,
that actually in theaters.
That's a really good. Oh, really? That's a really.
I
good
saw it in
movie,
theaters,
too.
yeah.
I know the
Nice.
song.
Yeah, no, there's a movie. It's actually a really good movie. It's actually-
Switching to Kiss now.
Yeah.
There we go. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it just by the way, yeah. But
I'll tell you what,
That or,
Kiss is a band that they are horrible musicians, brilliant marketing people.
Wow.
Brilliant. No, no.
Wow. Hot
They
take.
are. I'm
Hot
sorry.
take.
They know just enough to do what they do,
Yeah.
and they're making millions because their marketing is brilliant. Gene Simmons
Marketing was.
he's more of a businessman than a musician.
yeah,
He really is.
yeah, he's smart.
Yeah.
What about
I'm
Almost
sorry.
Famous? You guys ever see Almost Famous?
I didn't see that one. No.
Oh, you did it. Oh,
Yeah. I didn't
No.
see that one.
You know what my favorite music movie is? And I really got to go after this comment because my live stream starts in 60 seconds. But you know that movie? Yeah, I know. I'm like, what's the one with Tom Hanks where he's like managing like the 60s band? That Thing You Do.
Yes.
Have you ever seen That Thing You Do? Dude,
I
that's a
haven't.
fantastic movie. That's like a 10 out of 10 movie.
I've heard it's
Wow.
good.
Oh.
I never saw it.
what
though.
about the new Queen movie with the
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
That's
Bohemian Rhapsody.
great.
That was-
Malik
that
with
was
the
a
teeth,
great
the
movie. You
overbite.
see, that was,
Rami
that
Malik.
was
Yes.
great.
I loved it, but the movie just kind of ends. Like, why does it
That's
just kind of
true,
end?
that's true. Well,
You know?
because that was the whole point. Like it was
Yeah.
actually
Well,
the big. The big
It's their
show.
biggest moment of their
Live
career.
Aid.
Was that
Yeah.
was that
Career.
Live Aid?
Yeah,
That's
Fair,
right.
fair.
And it
Yeah.
truly was, man. They brought down the house, man. I've seen, clips of
Dude,
it.
they recreated
And-
that perfectly.
Yes, they did.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Rami
that
Malek
everything
was
to
amazing
the
as Freddy.
movement.
Oh, the performances
Oh
were
my
incredible.
God.
Yeah, no,
Dude, he
I'll
sounds
tell you-
just like him.
yeah.
He
I'll
sounds
tell you what, man.
exactly like him. I mean, talk about perfect casting.
He got his mannerisms down and everything,
did.
man.
Everything.
And the
Everything.
real performance at Live Aid, I'll tell you what, man. Freddie Mercury was like on another planet because he
Yeah.
was just like, and he controlled the crowd.
Oh,
So
he was-
you could,
did.
He was a showman
was-
for sure.
he
a
was
showman for
he was
sure.
one of the best. And his voice, he could do anything with his voice. I'm a huge Queen fan. It is just such a great group, and he was such a
Yeah.
great
Really talented,
great
man.
front man. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that Live Aid was incredible. If you've never seen, it's on YouTube. The actual
Oh,
Live
yeah.
Aid footage is out there.
Yep.
It's the best 30 minutes of rock and roll.
Oh.
It's just so good.
It
So much
is.
passion, and like you say, I think that the band was even overwhelmed whenever
Yeah.
because when he was out there doing hey
Yeah.
and you got like 60,000 people.
Oh, my
ridiculous,
God.
200.
Crazy like that.
And they're all
Yes.
doing it. Like, is one
They
guy is
were.
commanding this entire, like, there's
Dude,
I
it
mean,
was
there's
a
countries that aren't
ridiculous
that
sea
big.
of people. Like it
Yes.
just,
Yes.
it's just an endless sea of people. Like
And-
It's good.
it's crazy.
and he just control, like when they were saying "We will rock you," and it, come on, say it, and you could hear the
He
echoes
started
just
his live
bellowing.
stream.
It was like,
we gotta
wow.
we gotta
Oh,
go.
sorry,
Jake
Jake.
just started his live stream.
Oh my gosh, he's live.
I
That's
know,
Jake's,
Jake's
Jake's
hilarious.
live on his channel right now.
I am, yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
tell everybody you're dual streaming. You're live
I got
right
a
now.
yeah, I got a thing set up, so it's like just in case for this, I got a thing set up so that it's like, oh, the stream will start momentarily. It's all good. It's all
Dude.
bueno.
Hey, I want to talk about you about how you did that later.
I will.
Jake,
I'll tell
Let's
you.
talk about, because I would love to have that. Something like that.
I will. I will.
All right. Well, guys, this has been fun, gentlemen. I appreciate you all, as always. Much love, and I look forward to Monday. We'll see you on Monday, if not sooner.
Yes.
And we've already did our promotions earlier, so see, it was smart to do it earlier. We knocked it out. Knight, you want to take us out, buddy? You always have the honors, man.
And Jake, this is good, man. I don't know if you can.
Isn't that
see it
cool?
'cause of the link.
Oh, the music's fucking sick too. Yeah, it's kind of a sick little thing I made, so it's cool.
Ah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. Oh,
I like
yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jake getting down.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh
Did you
yeah.
record that on yourself, on a sampler, or on a
I
software?
made a little beat myself and all that. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
It's fun.
Nice. Well, everyone, head to Jake's channel right now because he is dual streaming because he's that good. He's
Dude.
that good.
And
What's
just
up,
real
Maverick?
quick, Maverick, want to say hi to Maverick, and hope you get better, buddy. You know, you suffered an accident at work, and
Oh wow.
so
Oh
Feel
man.
better, man.
that's why I wanted to put this up
Yes,
before we
man.
left. So his doctor said the image says it's not supposed to look like that. Oh, don't you want? And that's great stuff to hear.
That's never good.
You know,
No.
it's terrible.
Oh.
Oh man, sorry, Mav. Hang in there, buddy. Just get some rest. I hope you can, get better quickly, man.
Absolutely.
All right.
Much love, Mav. Okay, guys, we will catch you guys on Monday. Go over to Jake's channel and hang out with my man. I'll be on later on tonight at 8:30.
Yeah.
And blah 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 blah. We love you guys. The collective has spoken. Peace.
Bye, everyone. See ya.